Your partner's secret is online right now. And heaven is pushing you to see it. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, and the reason you're feeling that strange pull in your chest, that sudden pressure behind your spirit, is because heaven is trying to get your attention in a way you can't ignore anymore. Something about your partner's energy hasn't felt right, something online has been whispering to your intuition, and even though you've tried to brush it off, your spirit keeps circling back, saying, "Look again, something's there." Don't scroll, because heaven needs you to hear every word of this. You've been sensing it in the shift of their tone, in the inconsistency of their behavior, in the way they pick up their phone a little too fast or angle it away a little too carefully. And listen, this message is for you, because you are not crazy, you are not overthinking, you are not imagining signs, you're spiritually gifted, and heaven is sending you clarity through intuition because the truth is already living in your energy field. Your heart needs this right now. The secret your partner has been keeping is not hidden in silence, it's hidden online, in plain sight, under a post, a comment, a like, a conversation, or a connection they never expected you to ever notice, and the angels have been pushing you, nudging you, whispering to you through repeating signs, 1111, 222, strange dreams, sudden thoughts, because they know you're ready to see what your soul already knows. Don't scroll, the universe has been highlighting things for you. The delays, the odd timing, the accidental glimpses of their phone, the way a notification popped up at the exact moment you looked, the sudden urge you had to check something online, all of it has been divinely orchestrated because the truth is no longer hiding, it's rising. Listen to this, because this message is for you. Heaven isn't exposing this to hurt you, heaven is exposing this to protect you, to elevate you, to remove illusions that were blocking your alignment, and your heart needs this right now because you've been carrying confusion in places where truth is about to set you free. Don't scroll. You've been feeling disconnected from them lately, like their mind is somewhere else, their heart is somewhere else, their attention is somewhere else, and heaven is confirming that your inner knowing is correct. Something online has been taking parts of them away from you emotionally, even if their physical presence is still in your life. Your spirit has been sensing this emotional leakage, this split energy, this divided loyalty, and the reason it hurts so much is because you're spiritually connected to them in ways they don't understand. Listen closely, this message is for you. The secret they've been keeping is connected to a digital interaction, a person they've been speaking to, an emotional outlet they've created that they didn't tell you about, and heaven is pushing it to the light because you deserve truth, not half love, not half loyalty, not emotional breadcrumbs. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now, because this isn't about catching someone or exposing someone. It's about awakening you, about lifting you, about reminding you of your worth, your intuition, your strength, and your divine ability to see through lies without having to search for proof. Heaven is saying, you already know. Trust what I placed inside you. This message is for you. You've been feeling divine pressure because the truth is trying to enter your spirit, and it's coming with purpose, not pain. Yes, your partner's secret is online right now, but heaven is not showing it to destroy you, it's showing it to open your eyes to what's real versus what's pretending. Don't scroll, your heart needs this because you've been too patient, too forgiving, too loyal, too faithful to someone who has been careless with your heart, and heaven is stepping in. Your angels have seen things you haven't seen yet, things you felt without understanding why, and they are making sure that what has been hidden doesn't stay hidden much longer. Listen to this, because this message is for you. This moment is not the end, it's the awakening. Heaven is removing blinders. Heaven is revealing intentions. Heaven is showing you the truth, not to break you, but to free you. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now. Because the spiritual version of you already knew, and now the physical version of you is being prepared to see what your intuition has been warning you about for months. And when that truth appears, whether in a message, a comment, a post, a connection, or a name, you won't be shocked. Your soul will simply say, "This is what heaven was preparing me for." Because you deserve alignment, not confusion. You deserve honesty, not secrecy. And heaven is making sure you see it. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because your heart needs this right now, and heaven is guiding you deeper into the truth you've been sensing but couldn't fully grasp. The second part of this message is the part where everything begins to connect, the part where the emotional puzzle pieces finally fall into place, and the part where your spirit begins to understand why your heart has been feeling unsettled, heavy, or strangely alert lately, because something in your partner's energy has been tugging at your intuition in ways you couldn't ignore, and even though you tried to brush it off, your heart wouldn't let you. Listen to this. The emotional distance you've been feeling, the coldness, the hesitation, the excuses, the inconsistency, those weren't random shifts, those were spiritual indicators that their heart was divided, their attention was drifting, and heaven was trying to protect your heart before it broke in silence. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now. Because what you're about to understand will give you strength where you've been feeling weak, clarity where you've been feeling confused, and peace where you've been feeling pressure. The secret your partner has online isn't just an action, it's an emotional imprint, a digital trail of where their heart has wandered when they thought you weren't watching. And listen. Heaven is not revealing this to punish you but to awaken you, because your heart is too precious, too pure, too spiritually elevated to be tied to someone who can't choose you fully. Don't scroll, your heart needs this, because while you were loving deeply, they were loving inconsistently, while you were loyal, they were curious, while you were emotionally grounded, they were emotionally wandering through connections that were never meant to have access to their heart. Heaven has seen your tears, your worries, your late-night overthinking, the way you've questioned your worth, your beauty, your value, when the truth is, their secret has nothing to do with you not being enough and everything to do with them not being ready for the kind of love your spirit carries. Listen, this message is for you. Your angels have been watching over your heart, and this moment of revelation is heaven stepping in saying, "I will not let you be played with, I will not let you be misled, I will not let your heart break silently." Don't scroll, because your heart needs this reassurance. The universe is not exposing this secret to hurt you, it's exposing it to align you. You've been feeling heart signs everywhere lately. Random heart shapes appearing, sudden heart flutters, a tightening in your chest when their name comes up, and those weren't coincidences, those were spiritual heart signals alerting you that something was shifting behind the scenes. Heaven shows the heart the truth before it shows the eyes. And right now, your heart has already known for weeks that something online wasn't right. Listen to this, the emotional connection your partner created online. Whether it was attention, flirting, emotional validation, or a conversation they should have shut down, has created a spiritual imbalance, and heaven is bringing it to light because your heart deserves reciprocity, devotion, and truth. Don't scroll, your heart needs this final confirmation. You were meant to love, but not to be blinded. You were meant to trust, but not to be taken advantage of. You were meant to give your heart, but not to someone whose heart is still wandering. And heaven is stepping in with divine timing to show you what was hidden, because God refuses to let your heart walk into the next chapter attached to the wrong person. This message is for you, because soon, very soon, you will see something online, something small, something subtle, something you weren't even looking for, that will expose everything. A name. A message. A like. A connection. A pattern. And when you see it, your heart won't break, your heart will understand. It'll suddenly make sense why heaven has been pulling you back, slowing you down, placing pressure on your spirit. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now. The truth isn't coming to destroy you, it's coming to free you. And the moment it appears, you will feel a shift inside your chest, a release, a clarity, a strength you forgot you had. Because heaven is not just exposing your partner's secret. Heaven is protecting your heart for the person who won't hide you, won't lie to you, won't divide their energy, won't spread their love thin. And when the truth finally rises, it will not break you, it will bless you. Your heart will heal, your spirit will rise, and you will understand that heaven never reveals what it doesn't plan to replace with something better. Don't scroll, lean in for this, because the moment you're about to step into is the moment everything begins to make sense in your spirit, and the reason you're feeling that pressure in your chest right now is because your intuition is aligning with the truth heaven has been trying to reveal. This is the point where the spiritual signs, the emotional whispers, and the uneasy feelings you couldn't explain finally connect like pieces of a divine puzzle, and you'll realize you've been spiritually guided toward this understanding long before you even suspected something was off. Listen, don't look away now, because the next line is going to hit a part of you that's been waiting for clarity. Your partner has been emotionally reckless, not necessarily because they wanted to hurt you, but because they underestimated the depth of your intuition and the protection over your spirit. They thought they could keep something online, something hidden, something low-level, something they told themselves didn't matter, but heaven saw it the moment it happened. And your spirit felt the disturbance long before your eyes could catch it. Lean in. Because there's a reason you suddenly became more observant, more attentive, more spiritually aware. God was preparing you, strengthening you, sharpening your intuition so you wouldn't be blindsided. And here's what you need to hear: the secret they've been keeping is not bigger than you, not more powerful than you, and not stronger than the connection heaven has with your soul. Don't scroll. Your spirit is responding because you've been carrying emotional weight that wasn't yours to carry, wondering why things felt off when everything looked normal on the surface. But heaven doesn't operate on surfaces, it operates on truth. And that truth is rising. Listen carefully, because this message is for you, the digital connection your partner created, the one they thought was harmless, temporary, meaningless, has spiritual consequences, because emotional energy is spiritual energy, and the moment they opened themselves to someone else, heaven began exposing their intentions. Not because God wants to punish them, but because God refuses to let your heart sit in confusion. Lean in, this next part is going to shake something loose inside you. Your angels have been tightening your spirit every time your partner's energy shifted, every time they lied through tone instead of words, every time they made you feel like you were imagining things. You weren't. Your spirit was warning you. Your intuition was louder than their excuses. Heaven never lets someone hide in your life who isn't meant to stay. Don't scroll, you're getting closer to the truth now, and something in you knows this message is hitting deeper than coincidence. You felt ignored for a reason. You felt distant for a reason. You felt emotional coldness for a reason. Their actions didn't just change, they redirected. And heaven sees redirection as revelation. Because when someone's heart shifts, even slightly, the energy around them shifts too. And you felt that shift like a quiet earthquake in your chest. Lean in, this part is important. You are not losing something real, you are losing something unstable. And heaven is removing instability from your life because you are stepping into a season that requires clarity, strength, and emotional honesty. The secret they've been hiding online, the conversations, the attention, the digital intimacy, was never meant to remain hidden forever. Heaven gave them time to correct it. They didn't. Heaven gave them chances to choose integrity. They didn't. And now heaven is choosing you. Don't scroll, your spirit knows this truth already. That's why you've been feeling restless. That's why your dreams have been strange. That's why you felt sudden heaviness followed by sudden clarity. Heaven is preparing you not for heartbreak but for breakthrough. You are about to see something, maybe small, maybe subtle, maybe unexpected, that reveals their inconsistency completely. But you will not fall apart. You will rise. Because this revelation is not meant to tear you down. It's meant to show you that you've been carrying a connection by yourself. You've been loyal in areas where they've been careless. You've been devoted in ways they haven't appreciated. And heaven is stepping in because your future cannot be built on half-truths. Lean in, the truth is coming not to destroy your love but to upgrade your destiny. And whether you walk away or whether they change drastically, your spirit will not remain in confusion. Heaven is breaking the illusion so your heart can breathe again. And when the truth arrives, and it's closer than you think, you will finally understand why your spirit has been uneasy. It was never fear. It was never insecurity. It was divine intuition. Heaven was protecting you the whole time. Don't scroll. Lean in for this, because what I'm about to tell you will explain every strange feeling, every sleepless night, every moment where your heart felt heavy and your mind felt pulled in two directions at once, and if you've been wondering why your spirit has been on high alert, this is the moment everything becomes clear. Heaven has been shifting the energy around you, pulling back the curtain piece by piece, because what's happening behind the scenes is bigger than you realized and more revealing than your partner expected. Listen closely, this message is reaching you right on time, because the emotional unraveling that's happening inside them is no longer something they can hide. Your partner is starting to feel the consequences of their divided heart, their whispered conversations, their online secrets, and even if they think you don't know, heaven knows, your spirit knows, and your intuition has been screaming louder every day. Don't scroll just yet, because you're about to understand why the distance grew, why their energy felt different, why their eyes didn't match their words, why their affection felt inconsistent. Your partner has been wrestling with guilt, confusion, and fear, not just because of what they did online but because heaven is convicting their spirit. They can't rest. They can't focus. They can't pretend anymore. Their heart is tugging at them, reminding them of the loyalty you gave, the love you offered, the consistency they took for granted. Lean in, because this part matters more than you know. Everything they tried to hide, every digital conversation they thought was harmless, every emotional connection they created outside of you is catching up to them, and heaven is not allowing them to run from it any longer. Their conscience is loud. Their dreams are uneasy. Their energy is scattered. They're acting distant not because they don't care, but because they care too much. They're terrified of being exposed, terrified you'll find out, terrified of losing the love that they didn't protect properly. Listen, heaven is putting pressure on their spirit because God will not allow someone to mishandle a chosen one and walk away without accountability. Your partner is being spiritually confronted, emotionally shaken, and mentally pulled into truth. You may not see it yet, but their heart is trembling. Don't scroll. Because this next part is the reason your spirit has been reacting. Your partner's online secret is not just about another person, it's about their own internal battle, their fear of losing control, their desire for attention, their insecurity, their emotional immaturity, and heaven is forcing them to face the version of themselves they tried to hide. Their emotions are messy right now. They're overwhelmed by what they started and even more overwhelmed by the possibility of losing you. Lean in. Because this is where heaven begins to shift things for you. While their world feels chaotic, yours is being aligned. While they are drowning in guilt, you are rising in clarity. While they are confused, you are being prepared. Heaven is not exposing this to break your heart, heaven is exposing this to heal your heart. You've been too loyal, too forgiving, too emotionally invested to remain blind to something that affects your worth. Don't scroll. You are stepping into a new level of spiritual discernment. Your vision is sharpening. Your boundaries are strengthening. Your confidence is returning. Heaven is making sure you never again question your intuition or silence your inner voice to remain in a relationship that doesn't honor your heart fully. But listen closely, your partner feels this shift. They can feel you pulling back. They can feel your energy no longer chasing, no longer clinging, no longer second-guessing yourself. And that scares them more than anything. They're realizing now that you weren't just someone, you were the anchor, the peace, the stability they thought they'd never lose. Lean in, heaven is not done yet. Your partner is about to face a moment, a break, a confession, a burst of emotion, where they can't hold the secret inside anymore. They may slip up. They may break down. They may confess everything out of fear of losing you. Or heaven will reveal it in a way they can't control. Either way, the truth is coming. Don't scroll, because here's the part your spirit has been waiting for. This revelation will not destroy you, it will free you. It will break chains you didn't even know were holding you. And whether this truth leads to reconciliation or release, one thing is certain, heaven is protecting your heart, elevating your spirit, and positioning you for a love that doesn't hide behind screens. A love that chooses you fully. A love that honors you publicly and privately. A love that doesn't divide its loyalty. The truth is unfolding, and whether your partner rises with it or falls under it, you will rise. Don't scroll, lean in for this, because something in your spirit is waking up right now, something deep inside you is saying, pay attention, this part is for you, and the reason your chest feels a little tight, your energy feels stirred, and your intuition feels louder than usual is because heaven is trying to guide you through a moment that could change your emotional path forever. This is not about fear, not about panic, not about assuming the worst. This is about clarity, alignment, and spiritual awareness, because the truth you are stepping into isn't meant to hurt you, it's meant to lift you, and every step you've taken in the dark is about to make sense in the light. Listen, don't scroll, because this next part is crucial. Your partner has been wrestling with something internally, something they haven't fully admitted to themselves, something emotional, something spiritual, something that started online as distraction, confusion, insecurity, or curiosity, not as betrayal, not as deceit, but as a reflection of their own unhealed parts. And heaven is not exposing this to punish them or to break you, but to help you both grow out of patterns that have been silently eroding trust. Lean in, because your spirit already knew something was out of balance. You felt the hesitation in their voice, the inconsistency in their energy, the emotional fog that settled between you two, and even if you couldn't explain it, heaven felt the tremble in your heart and stepped in to guide you through it with wisdom instead of fear. Don't scroll yet, because heaven is helping you see something powerful. This moment isn't about catching someone doing wrong. It's about recognizing the places where you've been overgiving, overloving, overextending yourself emotionally while they've been avoiding looking inward at their own wounds. Your spirit wasn't sensing danger, it was sensing misalignment. And listen closely, this is where heaven shifts the story in your favor. Your partner is realizing that the emotional space they tried to fill online was just a temporary escape, not a reflection of how they feel about you, not a sign of falling out of love, but a sign of them avoiding truths within themselves. And heaven is making them face it now, not later, not someday, not after things get worse, because you deserve clarity and they deserve healing. Lean in, because this next part will touch you deeply. Your partner is starting to realize that nothing online compares to the connection they have with you, nothing matches the depth, the comfort, the emotional safety, the spiritual connection you provide, and they are beginning to understand that running from discomfort only leads them further from the love they truly want. They are feeling the emotional distance they created, not because they wanted a replacement, but because they didn't know how to handle their own inner battles. And heaven is saying, this is the moment to stop hiding. Don't scroll, there is a shift happening inside them. They are becoming more aware, more reflective, more honest with themselves. They are feeling the weight of the imbalance, the guilt of not showing up fully, the fear of losing someone who has given them more grace than they deserved. And heaven is pressing on their conscience, not to shame them, but to awaken them. Lean in, this is important. You are not being spiritually warned to leave, you're being spiritually guided toward truth so you can decide from clarity, not confusion. Heaven is protecting you from emotional blindness, but heaven is also protecting them from spiritual stagnation. What they did online, those messages, those interactions, that drifting energy, was a symptom, not a sentence. And heaven is calling both of you higher. Don't scroll, because your next chapter depends on how you see this moment. You can choose healing. You can choose honesty. You can choose alignment over illusion. And heaven is making sure you don't miss the opportunity to reclaim your worth, restore your boundaries, and rise into the version of yourself that no longer tolerates emotional uncertainty. Lean in for this last part. Your partner is being guided to take responsibility, to acknowledge their emotional inconsistencies, to confront their inner wounds, and to choose transparency over secrecy, connection over distraction, truth over avoidance. And you are being guided to step into a space where your intuition is honored, your value is recognized, your spirit is defended by heaven itself. This moment isn't about ending, it's about awakening. And when the truth fully surfaces, you will not break, you will rise. Because heaven is not exposing pain, heaven is revealing purpose. Don't scroll, lean in for this, because what I'm about to say will connect every emotional signal your spirit has been picking up, and the reason your chest feels tight, your intuition feels louder, and your energy feels like it's shifting is because heaven is pulling you into a moment of truth, clarity, and divine understanding. You are stepping into the part of the journey where everything hidden begins to align with everything your soul already knew, and this is where your strength, your intuition, and your spiritual discernment rise higher than confusion, assumptions, or fear. Listen closely, because heaven is pressing something onto your heart right now. Your partner has been going through an internal battle, one they haven't had the courage to speak about, one they haven't fully processed themselves, one that has been affecting their behavior without them realizing how deeply it affects you. This isn't about accusation, it's about awakening. This isn't about betrayal, it's about healing what's been unspoken for too long. This isn't about catching someone, it's about catching yourself before you lose your peace. Lean in. Heaven is revealing that your partner's emotional inconsistency, their distraction, their distance, their online wandering, wasn't about replacing you, it was about escaping their own inner turmoil. They've been running from themselves, not from you. They've been avoiding their own fears, not avoiding your love. They've been trying to fill a spiritual void with temporary distraction, and heaven is confronting them because distraction never brings peace, it only creates more noise. Don't scroll. Because this is where it gets real, your spirit felt all of this long before your mind did. You sensed their overwhelm. You sensed their confusion. You sensed their emotional shakiness. You felt their heart pulling back before they even realized they were doing it. And instead of letting you sit in confusion, heaven has been strengthening your intuition so you could recognize the difference between love in transition and love disappearing. And hear me, your love is not disappearing. The connection you share with this person is not breaking, it's being recalibrated. Lean in. Heaven is saying that the discomfort you felt lately is not a warning, it's preparation. Preparation for a breakthrough. Preparation for truth-telling. Preparation for emotional depth neither of you has reached before. Your partner is being pushed by heaven to confront parts of themselves they've avoided for years. Abandonment wounds, insecurities, fears of failure, fears of not being enough for someone as intuitive and spiritually powerful as you. And because they didn't know how to face those parts, they numbed themselves through online noise, conversations, scrolling, distractions that didn't feed their soul, they just silenced it. But that silence is cracking now. Heaven isn't letting them hide behind avoidance anymore. Don't scroll, because this next part is where you come in. Heaven has been preparing your heart, strengthening your boundaries, teaching you how to hear your spirit louder than your fear. You are not being positioned to punish them, you are being positioned to lead the connection into truth. You are not being prepared to walk away, unless heaven says so. You are being prepared to walk in clarity. This moment is not to break your relationship, it's to break the cycle. Lean in. Your partner is starting to feel the consequences of emotional avoidance, and the emotional mirror heaven is holding up to them is forcing them to see the difference between what feeds them and what drains them. They are realizing that the online distractions, the divided focus, the emotional inconsistencies were reflections of their own disconnection within, not from you, but from themselves. And heaven is whispering to both of you, it's time for truth. Don't scroll now. Because heaven is telling me your partner is on the edge of a shift. A confession. A breakthrough. A moment where their heart softens enough to say things they've been swallowing for months. They are tired of pretending everything is fine. They are tired of carrying guilt for things they didn't mean to do. They are tired of feeling unworthy of your love. And heaven is moving them into a space where honesty won't feel scary anymore, it will feel necessary. Lean in. Because heaven wants you to hear this clearly, the truth that comes out isn't meant to hurt you, it's meant to heal you. It's meant to bring depth where there was distance. It's meant to bring connection where there was confusion. It's meant to bring emotional intimacy where there was silence. This is not the end, it's the unveiling. The rising. The alignment. The moment where both of you step out of illusion and into authenticity. Don't scroll. Because what's coming next is the shift your intuition has been preparing you for. Healing is on the way. Conversation is on the way. Emotional truth is on the way. And heaven is guiding every step. Don't scroll. Lean in for this final part, because what you're about to hear is the moment your spirit has been waiting for, the moment where everything that felt confusing, heavy, or uncertain begins to make sense. And the reason your energy feels activated right now is because heaven is bringing you into emotional closure, spiritual clarity, and divine alignment after a long season of carrying questions in silence. You are stepping into the chapter where truth no longer feels scary, where your intuition no longer feels overwhelming, where your heart is no longer fighting to make sense of someone else's unspoken battles. Listen closely, heaven has been guiding both you and your partner through a spiritual refinement, a cleansing, a reshaping of the emotional foundation of this connection, and the internal shifts happening inside them, the honesty rising, the guilt dissolving, the clarity forming. Are all preparing them for a moment where they finally stop running from conversations they needed to have, feelings they tried to suppress, truths they tried to soften, and healing they have avoided for far too long. Don't scroll, because this is where heaven steps into the center of the connection. Your partner has reached the emotional threshold where silence is no longer an option. Their spirit is restless, not because of anything you did, but because heaven is leading them right to the place where truth meets vulnerability, and vulnerability meets transformation. They are beginning to understand that connection cannot survive behind emotional walls, and heaven has been dismantling those walls piece by piece through discomfort, dreams, intuition spikes, and moments where their heart felt exposed without understanding why. Lean in. Because this part is going to shift your energy. Heaven is saying you are not meant to stay in the dark anymore, and that is why every hidden thing, every avoided conversation, every emotional misalignment is rising to the surface, not to create chaos but to create clarity. You have been walking through this season with strength you didn't even realize you were demonstrating, trusting your intuition even when it scared you, listening to the whispers of heaven even when your heart didn't understand the why, and now heaven is rewarding that spiritual sensitivity with truth that will finally bring peace to your chest. Don't scroll, because the breakthrough isn't happening somewhere far away, it's happening inside them, right now. They are realizing that emotional avoidance doesn't protect love, it damages it. They are realizing that distraction doesn't fill emptiness, it deepens it. They are realizing that you didn't pull away because you stopped caring, you pulled away because heaven was protecting you from carrying their emotional weight alone. Their heart is waking up. Their awareness is sharpening. Their spirit is becoming accountable. Lean in, because this next part will hit your soul. Your partner is preparing to come forward with honesty, not the soft, half-truth kind, but the kind that shakes the air between two people. They are preparing to talk about what they felt, what they ran from, what they avoided, what they allowed to distract them, and how deeply they want to reconnect from a place of truth rather than fear. They may not have said it yet, but heaven has been stirring their heart, nudging them toward transparency, guiding them to understand that real connection requires real vulnerability. Don't scroll, because heaven is whispering, this is your moment of clarity. You are not walking into a confrontation, you are walking into a revelation. You are not stepping into conflict, you are stepping into understanding. And whether this truth leads both of you into deeper healing together or leads you into healing separately, heaven is assuring you that you will not lose. You will not break. You will not be left in confusion. You will be lifted. Lean in, because heaven is reminding you of something powerful. You were never meant to live with unspoken fears, unanswered questions, or emotional uncertainty. You were meant to live in truth, in alignment, in spiritual peace. And heaven is positioning you for exactly that. Your partner's internal transformation is not random, it is divine timing. The emotional truth rising to the surface is not punishment, it is protection. And the clarity you're stepping into isn't just about your relationship, it's about your destiny. Don't scroll, because the last thing heaven wants you to hear is this. Your heart is entering a season where peace will replace anxiety, where truth will replace doubt, where alignment will replace confusion. Whether this connection strengthens or releases, you are stepping into emotional clarity that will change everything. And heaven is saying, you are ready now. This is not the end. It is the becoming.